What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Look who I got with me today.
Hi everyone.
Look at this, Joseph. Can you believe this?
Yo, I was backstage. I'm like, what is going on? Pigs must be flying right now. Ione is on stage.
I know. So, guys, Q&A. What's going to happen today? I mean, this is a blessing. Joseph and I don't even get this time very often, you know?
I know. This is crazy.
Look at this. What's up, Max? One of the VIPs in the chat. What's going on, brother? Yeah, special guest, big time. Where are you headed, Joseph? You almost home?
Nah, bro, but I am headed home right now. We're driving through Houston right now. But I'm a passenger princess today.
What?
Yeah, I get to spend time with you guys,
Dang.
even though you can't really see me.
Hashtag goals.
There we go. Can you
Nice.
see better now?
Now we can see you better, bro. We can see your beautiful
Let's
face.
go. Let's go. Man, I got a big old forehead.
Guys, welcome to
What's up,
tonight's
guys?
Q&A. I guess it's a Q&A tonight. But we got a special guest with us today. We got Ione in the house. Everyone show some love to Ione.
Man, Ione's been crushing it with these new analyzers and just all the hard work you've been putting in. Killing it.
Agreed. Agreed. What's up, Lars? Another VIP in the house. Where's everybody at? It's a Monday. We got the case of the Mondays. Guys, today's a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to put your questions in the chat and we'll get to them one-on-one. Yeah, spreadsheet master. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, the reason it's a Q&A today, guys, is because last time, whenever we were on that live, the announcement that we were going to start doing more topics, everybody said that they wanted to keep the Q&As. They didn't want to get rid of them. So we're kind of doing an alternating pattern, right? We'll do a topic, then a Q&A, topic, then a Q&A. So you guys got to bring the questions. We'll bring the heat.
Exactly. Let's see. What questions do I have for Joseph? Let me see. Joseph, what do you enjoy the most about multifamily?
There's a lot of things I enjoy. You know what I mean? The job is fun. It's good. I like that I can say that I like my job. You know what I mean? I was just talking to my brother, and he was thinking about him leaving his job currently. So I'm just glad I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I'm glad we found a role for ourselves that we all enjoy doing. And on top of that, it's a really, really good option. There's a great opportunity to be able to make a lot of money in here. And not only that, but what it provides as far as freedom. You know what I mean? Like today, we had an appointment for Sailor this morning, and everything went well, everything as expected. But they recommended that we go see another specialist, and so we're like, okay, let's call them. And the option was either today or like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that in the future. And we're like, well, fuck. I guess we're going today, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to wait that long. So just the fact that we were able to do that and make that kind of like split second decision, I think that is my favorite thing about multifamily. I'm able to pivot when I need to in my life, not just in work, but in life itself. So I know that's probably not the answer you were looking.
That's the entrepreneur lifestyle, bro.
Yeah. And if we're talking like specifically, what do I really like about multifamily? I mean, I like dealing with these big numbers. That's exciting. You know what I mean? But if you want like the real honest answer, I think that's my answer.
Yeah, for real. I think it's once when we all found out that how you can scale in multifamily. I think that was a game changer for us especially. I mean, think about it this way, man. If you were in single family right now trying to acquire properties, man, how long will it take you to get to 100 doors in I don't know how many years? I mean, just that's a long time, right? You're acquiring properties one by one, but if you can do that all in one deal, why not?
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, there's a lot of people I know that are getting one. Their goal is to add 10 to 20 new properties to their portfolio, and they're talking single family, right? Well, let's say at 10 properties a year, that would take you 10 years to get to 100 units, whereas you can do that all off of one deal, and maybe it takes 6 months.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
very
bro.
cool.
So I think that's the game changer. It is, Ioni and I didn't think we were going to get anywhere near multifamily until we were at least like 5 to 10 years into the business, bro. So for us to be in multifamily in like the fourth year of our journey, like we've cut our journey in half. Like our goal, it's 70 units, and once the deal that we're working on right now, we're going to be over 100 collectively. Yeah, man. I don't know. That's a big achievement for all of us here, man. So I'm super excited.
Same. I'm stoked. I know KJ is excited too, right, babe?
Special guest KJ too.
Yeah. And we got Sailor in the back too. You just can't really tell, but she's back there.
Yeah,
Yes, I love that, Max. He said, I enjoy that it's more of a team sport for sure. And it truly is. And we talked about it a lot with what we're doing with our team, right? But I'm seeing it even more now with what we're doing with our amazing team that we put together. Like I love each and every one of them. They're all superstars, and I see how far that we can go with all of us working together to achieve that goal. And I'm just excited, man. It's surreal to think how far we've come, and then to realize this is only the beginning, and so many more people are about to be impacted by not just our lives and the people on the team, but everybody else that we're reaching to in this journey.
exactly. It's that domino effect, man. Like for us, right? We got our first deal. Now we're the ones helping people out to get their first deal, and then they'll go ahead and do the same thing, right? So this of circle of life in the multifamily space, right? It's
Yeah.
crazy. It really is. I mean, just think about how much just one deal, man, how much you learn off of one deal that you can go off and help someone else out with their first deal. That's what we're doing. I mean, it's just an incredible journey to experience it from A to C, right? Acquisition to closing. And I love it. I love every step of it. And even asset management is fun, kind of, sometimes.
Is that how you feel too, Ione?
I think it's more challenging
Yeah.
than I thought about it, but it's okay.
Yeah, definitely a lot more than previously expected.
Yeah, for sure. But it's good. It's a learning experience for sure. So only gonna make us better, and anybody else who experiences asset management will definitely understand what we're talking about.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, Lars. Definitely put a great team together. Very thankful. Yeah, man. You guys, the VIPs are amazing. Lars, the third. Lars is amazing. Max is on here. If any of the other VIPs are here, shout out to you guys as well. You guys network in the chat. Like I always encourage you guys to do so. Freaking amazing rock stars here. Amazing underwriters, by the way. Max is top underwriters for sure and the team. So if you guys need an underwriter, reach out to Max. Lars is amazing at broker outreach. So if you guys need anybody to help, like if you need any help with brokers, he's an awesome person to reach out to. Good resource to have. And any other VIP on here too. I see we got Joel in the chat. What's up, Joel? All right, first question of the night, Edgar. Guys, this is a Q&A, so if you have any questions in regards to multifamily, put them in the chat, please, and we'll get to it. Edgar says, how much do interest rates differ on a residential property and a big multifamily deal? What kind of interest rate is considered good or decent right now? Who wants to take this one? Joseph, you want to take this one? Or are you busy?
Yeah, I'm just getting gas right now.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. You do your thing,
no.
bro.
I'm good, bro. So I would say here's my honest answer. I don't really know right now. I'm not up to date with residential interest rates right now at the moment. But as far as multifamily goes, I'm seeing the norm anywhere between mid fives to mid sixes. And there's definitely fluctuations outside of that too. And we're creeping up higher towards that higher end, getting closer to the high sixes and sometimes sevens. If you're some that I've seen at 8%, I know we've gotten back a couple quotes at 8%, 8.5%, but for what we are targeting and the types of deals that we are targeting, that's the norm of what we're seeing is the higher fives to mid sixes. The last quote I looked at was like a 6.15, but these are for stabilized assets that don't need a whole lot of work. These are not bridge loan debt.
Yeah. And so to kind of answer your question, how much do interest rates differ on a residential property than big multifamily? It all comes back to the underwriting, right? I mean, that's what you really care about is you want to see what the underwriting tells you because you underwrite residential properties differently than you do multifamily. I think that's the biggest difference there. I think anything, correct me if I'm wrong here, Joseph, but anything after 5 is considered commercial multifamily, right?
Yeah,
So
anything after 5 units is commercial.
exactly. So you would have to underwrite those a bit differently. As far as like what's considered, like interest rate that's decent right now. Again, Joseph kind of mentioned the range anywhere from like maybe a 5 all the way up to like maybe a 7 as well, right? So, and this is for fixed long-term debt, right? Joseph touched up on bridge loans, and those are more short-term, kind of like your hard money if you were in the residential space. But for what we're seeing at that, for long-term fixed debt, that's what we're seeing. So I wouldn't necessarily say considered a decent rate. I would just say it just goes back to your numbers to see if everything checks out. The interest rate is really, in my opinion, maybe you guys can say different, but it's kind of irrelevant as long as the numbers work. That's what I would say.
I agree.
All right. Let's go to Joel. Joel says, so how would you say the structure of a passive investor will be compared to single family, where they just get paid for a certain amount of years and double-digit returns? I guess if you're talking about like private money versus like an actual syndication, then it's different. But for a passive investor, I mean, some of the investors we have in our deals are passive and all they do is get a return on their money quarterly. So they don't really have to do anything, but that's a syndication model. So it's a little different from a single family. Joseph and I are working on a deal right now. It's single family. We've got private money involved and they also get a return, but we structured it where they get a return. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Joseph, but it's monthly, I think, is when they get their returns, right?
For the single family?
Yeah, for the single family.
No, she gets paid off at closing when we close with our end buyer. When we sell it, that's when she gets paid off. So we pay her in full, the full amount.
Yeah. So it just depends on how you structure it. I mean, I think if you're doing single family, yeah, you can get it where they have a return passively, or maybe if you're buying and holding, then you're technically a passive income investor. Why are you looking at me like that? You want to add to it?
No.
Okay. Then it just depends on the deal itself. I mean, I would say if you're doing a multifamily deal, it's going to be structured a little differently than a single family deal traditionally, depending on what structure you take. You got anything to add on that, Joseph?
Yeah, I would say one big difference between a multifamily passive investing the multifamily and the single family is that with single family, when you invest or passively invest, you're typically the private money lender, and you secure your money with a promissory note and deed of trust and that type of stuff, right? And so there's like a promise that you're going to be paid back a certain amount. With multifamily, more often than not, you're not necessarily promised a return. It's more of a projected return. This is what we're expecting to make. These are the returns we're expecting to make on this deal. But, it is an investment. There are risks that come with that. So that is one big difference between multifamily and single family. So there is different risks involved.
Yep. All right, Joel, what are you guys preparing for this coming crazy market? If banks collapse and they start calling the loans due, what to do? Buying real estate. That's what we're doing to prepare for it.
In creative finance, you don't even necessarily have to worry about this, Joel. When you're doing creative finance, a lot of times you can structure the deal to where even if this were to happen, it's not necessarily a concern because you already structured the deal in a way that makes sense. But for those that are, and they can't necessarily just call the loan due because they have no money, you know what I mean? I don't think they can do that. If they can, that's crazy. That's some crazy power, but maybe I'm just not well read on that subject, but I'm pretty sure they can't just call a due for no reason unless you broke some kind of clause on the agreement that you had with them for borrowing the money. So as long as you're making the payments, you shouldn't really have to worry about that. Now, your worry would be, am I going to be able to make the payments? So that's what I mean. As long as you structure the deal in a way that worst case scenario, then you have nothing to worry about. And that's how we're structuring our deals and the business model that we have. We're only buying sure win deals. We're not going to buy a deal that doesn't make sense, or maybe it does make sense and it sounds really good, but there's just too much of a gray area that we don't know or we're very unsure about. We want to only shoot for the slam dunks right now.
Yep.
And we make deals into slam dunks with creative finance.
Well said. Next question. Edgar, this is a follow-up to his last one. How does that affect the cap rate at what you need to get the deal you are looking at?
I think he's referring to
if you have a loan at 7% interest rate, do you need a 7+ cap to break even? That's you guys underwriters right there.
You have a loan at a 7.
That's what they said when we were starting.
Yeah.
You cannot go.
Yeah. It's like a general rule of thumb that the deal won't necessarily make sense if you're not hitting that rule. I mean, I'm sure there are some scenarios where it might make sense, but that is a general rule of thumb. You typically want to have the interest rate lower than the cap rate, or the cap rate higher than the interest rate.
Right. It's a good rule of thumb to go by. It's just what Joseph said. I would definitely consider that as a preliminary underwriting, kind of like a napkin type of thing at first, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's kind of the same answer though. It just depends on what your underwriting says. If you can buy it at a 5 cap and the interest rate is at 7%, but the deal still makes sense because the payments are structured in a way that you have a lot of security, a lot of space for something to go wrong, then I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. It just really just depends on that underwriting.
Look at this. We have some Ione fans in here. What's up, Andrea? And we have Lynn in the house. What's up, Lynn?
Yo, what's up, Lynn?
We need to do a deal together. I need to do a deal with everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Lars, where's the band? This is for
you.
you.
Lars is always on the lookout for us, man. Between the recording button and all the banners, my guy, he sends me pre-sent text messages to make sure I remember the recording. So I appreciate that.
Dang, that's awesome. All right. Anybody have any questions at all? Put it in the chat.
Yeah, we're here for you guys. We want to make sure that we're offering a value out to you guys. I mean, if you guys think that maybe it's not the best thing, we'd love to hear feedback on what you guys would like to hear and the different topics you guys would like to go over. So definitely would love to have that feedback from you guys and see what you guys are wanting to hear more about. Oscar, maybe I can type it in.
What's that?
I'm gonna try and type this into the I never tried putting it on here. One sec. Let's see if you can pull this up for me.
Okay. In the meantime, Andrea, that's awesome. I thought you have met Ione or seen her before, but
Nice to meet you.
she's here in the flesh. She's not a myth. She's not a legend, guys. She actually exists. So show her some love in the chat. She's here. Put some fires in the chat for Ione. And you guys have her here so we can ask questions.
I know this is the person you guys really want to be talking to. Me and Oscar are just a pretty face, guys. The women on the team crush it. They're the ones holding it down.
This is true.
Can you see that chat I sent? I don't know how.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Okay, can you pull that up? That's the link for the feedback, guys. It's suggest.million-dollar-upside. So if you guys want to suggest a topic or just offer feedback, we'd love to hear from you guys.
Fires in the chat for Ione. Yeah, this is the link, guys. Suggest.million-dollar-upside.com. This is what Joseph was just talking about. Fires in the chat. Look at this. Look at what Lynn says. She puts the million in $1,000,000 upside. Heck yeah.
I don't know about that, but thank you, Lynn.
Awesome. Okay. Edgar has a question. Can you give us an example of how you structured a creative deal to make sense, or some tactics you use to convert a seller into a creative deal that is looking for a traditional sale? Man, I think that's a Tennessee example right there, Joseph.
Yeah, definitely.
Edgar, so one of the deals that we closed on in Tennessee was sitting on the market for about 8 months, and no one was able to buy this property from the seller because it just didn't make sense on a traditional sale, right? I think they were asking, I don't remember how much they were asking. They were overpriced, but the cash offer. What's that?
He wanted like 3.1 or something like that.
Yeah, like 3.1 or something like that. And as a traditional sale, I think it underwrote with us going and getting a new loan with like what, 2 point something in the low twos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, in the
we
low
were like 2.2.
Yeah, and so it didn't make sense. We were nowhere near what they were asking, and so how did we solve that issue? Well, because we're all creative finance backgrounds here, the only way we could make this deal work for them and make it a win-win for everyone was to do a creative deal. So we structured it creatively for them to get closer to their purchase price and for us to be able to cash flow at the same time with terms that work for both of us. So what it really took, Edgar, was for us to get on a call with all parties that are involved and just sit down and hash out what it is that we're all looking for. So it's a sort of a negotiation for sure, but it was also a back and forth. Like, you give me something, I give you something, and then let's make it work. So we gave them what they were looking for, which was something closer to their purchase price, and they were able to work with us on the terms where we can take it over, pay a little bit more than what we would have paid as a traditional sale, but also like the terms were there where we can cash flow, right? So that's how we were able to structure a creative deal with the seller where it worked for all parties. And the thing too, Edgar, that you have to consider when you're talking to sellers in multifamily is that most of them, I'd say about 99% of them, are savvy. Like, they understand creative finance or some form of it. So Like this guy was sitting on the phone with us talking terms and putting it in their calculator in real time while we were talking the terms with them. So they understood what we were looking for. They understood all the terminology, the creative finance. We didn't have to educate him. He was already working with us and already knew what to do. So that's another thing that you have an advantage in most cases in multifamily. Those sellers are typically some sort of investor themselves, or if not, very savvy investors, and they understand what they're talking about and what you will talk to them about if you're doing creative finance. So hopefully that makes some sense, Edgar, and hopefully that helps out a little bit. But that's how you do it. Best thing is just to get on the phone. That's what Joseph loves to do, and he's really good at it.
Should we tell the terms for that deal? Just a high
That's
level.
all you, bro. You were the one negotiating the terms.
Yeah, so it's a 2.9 purchase price is what we got them, and it's a 5-year term. So 5-year balloon is when he wants all his money back in 5 years. That's what he wanted to do. So we got 3% interest and interest only for the whole 5 years. I think that's all the terms. But I mean, that's some pretty favorable terms, and it was fun. It was fun, and I can't wait for the next one.
Exactly. Hopefully that helped out, Edgar. Look at Jaden. Damn, my dude with the biceps over here. What's up, Ione? That's what he says, Jaden. Great to see you on here. Yeah.
What's up, Jaden? Hey, just so you know, I had reached out to Gabe, so we might be getting a special guest star sometime in the near future.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. All right.
Yeah, we're working hard to get you guys some amazing content. We're bringing on some people.
Heck yeah. Jaden, the link that you missed up top, I think you're talking about this one, suggest.milliondollarupside.com, is to provide us with feedback on anything that you guys want to suggest or want to hear on for us to talk about. So that's what the link was for. I think that's what you were talking about. If so, let us know. All right. What else, guys? We got another question in the chat. Okay, I think I see one. All right. Joel says, what is the keys to raising capital in your opinion? If I want to bring some investors that I built relationships with but don't know the legals, can I bring them to you guys for deals we partner? Where's my banner?
I'm going to say yes, you can always bring people to us.
Definitely. The short answer is yes. I guess your first question is, what are the keys on raising capital in your opinion? Man, I should really maybe one day we can let KJ talk about it, because she's a natural at it and she doesn't even know it. She's so good at it and she doesn't even know it. But I think it's just having that relationship, like KJ is an amazing person. She's just really down to earth and really just, you can talk to her. She can talk to anyone. And so, her strength, even though she doesn't really know it right now, is like the investor relations, right? She's amazing at talking to people and building those relationships. But if you don't know the legals, then yes, you can absolutely bring it to someone who is more experienced, or you can talk to an attorney ahead of time. Again, we are not attorneys or CPAs. You definitely need to go seek that legal counseling. But yeah, you definitely could do something like that. Where the line kind of gets gray is, it just depends on the deal. It really just depends on the deal. But other than that, yes, you could do that for sure.
I would say best advice is to just be yourself, be genuine. The minute you start BSing people, that's when they're going to read right through it.
I think social media.
Oh, KJ said social media. If you're not on social media, what are you doing?
Because people see what you're doing, and then they trust that you know what you're doing. But if you're not posting anything, and then you want to ask people for money, they're gonna question like, can you actually do what you say you're gonna do? And then the other thing is like building relationships with people. Like every person who has given us money tell me, I trust you, KJ. And so like I think a lot of it is just like the relationship. So I think number one is relationship, and then two is social media. Because the second thing is like, yes, I trust you, but then also like wanting to make sure that you're actually doing things. So I think it's your personality and the way that you talk to people, and building a relationship with them. I mean, I'm not purposely trying to raise money, but it just happens that way, and like that's all I'm doing is just talking to people, and then like I'm having a conversation with them, and then I'm like, oh, we're doing this and that, and I'm like, actually, if you are interested and have money, I kind of like, hey, there's an opportunity, and then they get intrigued, and that's kind of how it's been going for me.
You hear that? That was a humble brag, guys. We got people throwing money at her. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, I mean, that's it. It happens over and over. Just the most recently, people are sending money in for us without even getting the promissory note signed or any kind of security, but because they trust us, they know us from social media and what KJ has been putting on social media for just showing what we're doing.
Well said.
I like what Jaden said right there. Exactly.
Those were some golden nuggets from KJ. Those are good stuff, KJ.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it. I just do it.
Exactly. It's just natural.
All right, Edgar. Oh, sorry. Okay, there we go. So now that you're in at 2.9 and it pencils out to a 2.2, does that mean you are working on a value add in order to be prepared for the end of the term? What kind of value add ideas do you have?
Yes. Yes, it's a value add. It's a value add play that we have to do. We're actually doing right now. So most of it are rent increase, and then I think the solid ones for other income that we're doing is pet fee, utility bill back, right? Utility bill back, and parking. That I think I said solid because I know there's more, but that's what we're implementing at the moment. To answer your question.
That was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
You heard it from the asset manager herself. That's the plan right there.
That's the plan. And it could be simple like that. Like you don't have to overthink it, especially if people are already implementing a proof of concept, of the renovations that are achieving a certain rent premium that they're getting. Maybe it's $100, maybe it's $150, whatever it is. All you have to do is come in and repeat what they're doing, and if you don't like it, do something different or do something better, whatever it is. It's just coming up with that plan. But way to go.
And then Edgar says, what was the initial entry fee on the deal? Did the seller want anything up front?
We'll just say less than 20%.
Yeah.
Was the entry fee.
Yeah.
Well, less than 20% was the down payment for the seller. And then we have to raise money for the capital expense and the closing costs. So I'll say about 30 to 40%.
There you go.
Was our entry fee. Yeah, almost 40%.
That's with everything.
Yeah.
Everything calculated. So, yeah. I wish I could give you all the numbers, but I really have to protect our investors and the confidentiality agreement we have. But perhaps one day we'll let everyone in when we exit from the company.
But it'll be when we close.
Yeah. Jaden, what are good ways to find more investors? I've heard going on LinkedIn and finding busy professionals who have money but no time to find and manage deals. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, etc. Do you want to get that one, Joseph?
Yeah, sure. Everybody and anybody you talk to at every point in time of your life is a potential investor. Everybody, every single person you talk to. You just you ask people what they do. You just ask them, hey, what do you do? Right? And then they're going to be nice and they're going to ask you back, or they won't be nice and not ask you. You can just say it anyways. You just say, oh, I help people invest in multifamily real estate. I help people invest in multifamily real estate. And then it opens the door for you to, they're going to ask, oh, that sounds cool. That's interesting. Never heard people do that, right? I want to learn how to do that. Or, I mean, you can keep it simple. I help people invest in real estate. You know?
I get people double-digit returns.
Yeah, I get people double-digit returns. That's Amy Majori's. She uses that all the time. And that opens you up for your 30-second, 1-minute little pitch.
Oh, when we went to the
Here, surprise guest. You got this.
No, you do it.
Okay, the doctor? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so when we went to an ultrasound for Sailor, we just started chatting up the nurse. I don't even remember how it happened. I think maybe I asked her, does she do anything besides this? Right? Does she work anywhere besides the current nursing place that she was at? Right? And she was like, no, but me and my husband actually been thinking about looking into investing real estate and buying holds. We're like, perfect. You know what? And then she asked us what we do. And so we started talking to her about it. We started telling her what we do. So we're still waiting on a call back from her, but you follow up. You follow up all the time with all these people you meet. Get their email, get their phone number, and be intentional about the follow-up, reaching out to them, especially when it comes time for the money. You're going to have had a relationship with these people. If you just reach out to them one time, they're probably not going to do that. But you need to get familiar with these people and understand what they're looking to do and which deals would be and would not be good for them, and their business plan and how they're looking to invest. You just got to talk to people.
Exactly. And then kind of like what Joseph had mentioned about Amy Majori and also Vina Jetty, I think everyone knows them, but, they're also really good at talking about, raising capital. So if you guys want to check them out too, they're amazing. Super good at raising capital. All right. Next question. Andrea, is 30%-ish what it takes for all deals for entry, or do they all differ? So I guess if you're talking about like a traditional deal, right? Like if you're going to go and get like new debt, then yeah, you might be looking at like 20 to 30% as a down payment or more. Yeah, or more, depending on your loan to value. So that would be the norm if you're going out and getting new debt. But if you're doing creative finance, Andrea, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Our first one was less than 10%.
Yeah, it was small.
Yeah, less than 10% on our first deal, and that was creative. So it really just depends on the deal and how you structure it and how well you negotiate those terms with the seller or broker, whoever you're dealing with. Or if they're maybe motivated, then maybe you can get it with 0% down and just take it over, right? So, but yeah, if you're talking about like traditional or like going out and getting new debt, then yes, 30-ish is pretty much the norm for the for just a down payment. That's not including the other stuff that might go on top of that, like closing costs and capex if you need to raise that as well. Good question, by the way. Joel, just curious for your advice. If we left college, where are some good places to meet more friends and people, especially in real estate, build more in-person relationships, going to a meetup tomorrow? You know what? You can do what KJ did, and if they give you a tag, just write on there, I buy apartments, and stick it on there, and that'll be a great conversation starter.
Yep, there you go. Man, we need to do that. The multifamily matchmaker. We need to turn that into an app.
Yeah, definitely. Swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do.
Where some
Nobody
great
take that idea. This is recorded, so
yeah,
we'll see it first. No, I'm just kidding.
You're good. Joe was asking where are some great places to meet more friends and people, especially in real estate, to build more relationships. I think meetups are one place that I would for sure, if I wanted to meet them face to face. Meetups, events, workshops, things that what do you call it? Like those 3-day events or whatever they have, those types of things. I think those would be the best place to go meet people, especially if you're on a mission. Like if you're focused on meeting just people like in multifamily, then go to multifamily specific events and go in there and create those relationships in person. But don't do what we did one time. We went to a meetup that had nothing to do with multifamily, and we were like, "What are we doing here?" We got no value out of it. You remember that?
No. Yes. I felt like so just in the wrong area. Like I felt like I was just not being served. Like nothing wrong with any of the people there. We have a different focus or goal. You know what I mean? It just wasn't serving us on our path to that goal. Exactly. It was a different path.
Exactly.
But I would say meetups are the best. And rooms like this, I don't know how many people are in here right now, but all of these Zooms and webinars that you guys go to, start using the side chat. Reach out, put your number out there, and when somebody else puts their number out there, call them. Don't send a text message. Don't wait till next week. Call them. You should call them as soon as they put the number in. Just call them, and that will make an impression.
Joel, yes and yes. Have you initiated combos at Home Depot or grocery store, maybe restaurants, anywhere and everywhere, bro? You never know who you're gonna meet. Never. Don't ever judge a book by their cover. When Joseph and I were riding on an Uber one time in Florida, and you would never think that this Uber driver was well off, but he was like, "I do this for fun. I mean, this is what I do for fun, and like I'm set for life. Like I don't have to do anything." And of course, Joseph was pitching to him. But yeah, everyone and anyone, dude. It can be anybody. Trust me. Okay, thanks.
Okay, just said it's always the people that you least expect. Sorry, Ione.
No, you're good. Andrea.
Sorry for the confusion. I was talking about Edgar's question.
Yeah,
right?
for Edgar's question. Yeah. So Andrea was asking, okay, thanks. Ione was saying 30-ish for y'all's deal. Just wondering if that was typical. That was in regards to his Edgar's question earlier in the video. Hopefully that makes sense. Look at this. Multifamily Tinder for massive tender.
That's the tagline. Let's go. That's $1 million idea right there.
Yep. This is a good question. I think one of the things that I think is not some people are sleeping on is brokers. And what I mean by this, because Joel's asking, how many broker investors have you guys met during your call? More or less, Joel, I'm gonna give you a nugget that we do whenever we go to property walkthroughs, right? if you were on our last Zoom where we talked about, I think it was 2 Zooms ago, where we talked about the property walkthrough. We told you how kind of we strategize in the property walkthroughs and what we do. Like Ione and Joseph are typically walking with the property manager on site, and they're grilling the property manager with all their questions. And I'm typically talking to the broker and just kind of hanging out with them and getting to know them more, because they're also asking us questions, kind of vetting us some more if they haven't met us. But it's a good opportunity for you to meet face to face and talk to them. And one of the things I always ask Joel that I think a lot of people sleep on is, I ask them, do they invest in real estate? And you'll be surprised that most of them will tell you that they don't. And a lot of them are like 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years in the industry, and they don't invest in real estate. So it's surprising to see how these brokers are doing so many deals, but none of them really invest in real estate. So one of the things that you can do, again, people sleep on this, is, you know, would you, one of the things I ask is, hey, I work with a broker or brokers who are also interested in investing in multifamily. And let's say that, you were doing the deal with them, Joel, then you could potentially pitch where some of the commission that they get, they can roll right into that deal as well and partner up with you guys. That's a big opportunity to give someone like a broker like that, in order for them to get started in their journey as an investor and a broker. KJ is amazing at doing this when she talks to brokers. She actually, one of the brokers that we talked to, she was the one who pitched them that, and they're super excited. And I think the words out of his mouth were like, I've never been offered that opportunity or something like that, where he was just extremely grateful to be on the radar for any deals that we do, for them to invest in those deals. So again, that's one of the things that people sleep on, that KJ does very well with brokers. All right. Just curious, are you guys still buying single family creative? Yes. Or we're doing it right now with Joseph and KJ. So
You know it. Send us your sub twos.
I think that's it. I mean, I see. Hey, appreciate that, bro. I'm wondering how many brokers have invested with you guys. That's a gold gem. At the moment, none. But again, we always pitch it just because you want those relationships. Another thing that I'll leave you with, Joel, on the brokers, that I think a lot of people also don't think about the long term is, if you're doing a deal and this is maybe your first deal with that specific broker, and everything's working out, the deal's pushing through, you're going to close on it. Make sure you close on the deal, because once you close on the deal with a broker that you've never worked with, that broker will see that you can perform and you can close on the deal, and then they'll bring you more and more leads, more deals going forward, because they know that you can perform and you can close. So that's one thing, that if you ever get under contract, try your best, whatever you do. I know there's things that are unforeseen, but do your best to stress test the underwriting as much as possible, so you can know and for sure you're going to close on that deal. That's going to open up the floodgates for you in the future with that broker and other brokers, because they spread the word, and multifamily is pretty small, so everyone kind of knows each other. So make sure that if you do a deal, close it, or do your best to close it and build that relationship, because they'll keep bringing you deals in the future.
Bro, you are just dropping the nuggets. Like, it's raining nuggets out here. I need to turn the windshield wipers on.
Love it. Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy to be here.
I got you. Hang on. All right, there you go. All right. I think we're coming around like the last few minutes. If you guys have any more questions, we have maybe one more question we can take. In the meantime, if you guys haven't registered for our Zoom this Friday, we're going over, what is this, part 6, Joseph?
Yeah, part 6.
Part 6, right? And this is we'll talk offline. I don't remember. Well, we're coming on part 6 of our multifamily series, right? It's from acquisition to closing.
Due diligence.
Due diligence. Okay, so this is due diligence coming up, guys. This is one of the specialties that I love doing, and I can't wait for this one. This is going to be fire, guys. They've all been fire, but this one, this one, I'm super excited to share about because it's right up my alley. And I think Joseph called it out the other day when we were doing one of the Zooms. He's like, I think we're all kind of transitioning into this new role as we do more deals, and I love due diligence. I love closing, so this is going to be a really good Zoom coming up. So if you are not registered for the Zoom, the link is at the bottom of your screen. It's zoom.milliondollarupside.com. Don't miss it, guys. And we're doing all this for you guys for free, so you know what it's like when our business, using our business model, going from the acquisition all the way to the closing table. So don't miss it. And then on the other flip side, if you're not subscribed to our channel, subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching like on Facebook, or if you're watching, yeah, I guess Facebook is the only other platform. If you're watching on Facebook, all the action happens on YouTube. So subscribe to our channel. $1 Million Upside is our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, please. And also, to stay connected on everything that we're doing, get on the Facebook group. It's Multifamily, the $1 Million Upside. It's at the bottom of your screen. Hop onto that group there. We have everything available for you guys. All the recordings that we've ever done are now available there. Platform, super, super amazing platform that's super organized that Joseph made an announcement on. It's in the Facebook group in the featured tab. So if you guys want access to all of our previous recordings, they're all there, and it's all free for you guys. All right. Anything else, Joseph?
Nope. I think that's it.
Are you done?
I'm good.
Good. Guys, you had a Yoni. This is your last chance. I don't know when she'll be back, guys.
You guys were sleeping on that for sure.
But all right, guys. Then with that being said, we are going to head out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.